Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, noise, murmurings, incomings, outgoings, new contracts on the table for potentially an Aston Villa player by the looks of things going into today's Transfer Hub. So if you are new, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. We're getting very close now to 26,000, which is mind-blowing. So play your part, help me out. If you're enjoying it, make sure you hit that button, the subscriber button, hit the like button. Let's try and get around 500 on this one today. And most importantly, comment your thoughts. We've had a little bit of a rebrand around here, so hopefully you are liking the Up the Villa branding going into the brand new season. So let's get stuck into it then. We've got quite a bit to run through today, and we're going to kick it off with the main talking point of the show, is that Aston Villa intend to offer Morgan Rogers a new contract to reflect his status as a key player at Villa Park. Rogers has interested other sides in the Premier League, including Chelsea this summer. Villa have outlined their desire to renew Rogers' deal, which still has 5 years left to run after signing an extension in November 2024. With discussions in preliminary stages, Villa do not want to lose the 23-year-old who made his senior England debut last year. That's from Jacob Tanswell and Simon Johnson, and this is coming from the Athletic on the deal sheet update as well. So Rogers is already tied in. He's already locked in at Villa. We're hearing there that he's still got a substantial number of years on his contract. But why would he need another one? Well, it's to reward him. Start off, it's to reward him for his output, for what he's doing for the team. He's quickly rising through the ranks at Villa as being, in my opinion, our most important player. I think we're getting into territory now where the team gets built around Morgan Rogers and Morgan Rogers' main attributes. And yeah, look at the journey we've been on so far. Come from Borough, eased his way in the season before last, big part, played well, scored a few goals, had a massive pre-season last summer. And again, it highlights the importance of pre-season. He really established himself. We were all excited, burst onto the scene against Arsenal, and had a really, really standout season. And yes, he can get better. Yes, he needs to get better in certain areas, but he's slowly becoming our clutch superstar. And you tie him down, you reward him, you give him better wages, which replicate his work and where he is. You know, he replicates being one of the better earners at Villa. It'll replicate mirroring some wages from some players at other clubs as well. So I think it's about rewarding Rogers for where he is, and we moved on Coutinho. There's wages available at Villa that we can work around. So for me, great to just keep these players tied down, and happy to reward him for what I believe he deserves, really. So you will get the normal contracts don't mean anything. They're not worth the paper that they're written on. And to an extent, that may be true if a player then leaves in the next window. But it's all about protecting us, protecting the club, but also rewarding the player sometimes. And I think it's about a balancing act, really. So this one, to me, feels like we're rubber stamping our authority of saying, you're not leaving, which we are doing. We're saying you're not leaving, but we will reward you for staying and being here with a better contract. It has to work both ways. We look at Boubacar Kamara, signed a brand new 5-year deal at Aston Villa. Now, yes, he could leave next summer, but if he does leave, is at the highest peak of his value because he'll have around 4 years left on his contract, and he's worth a lot more to Villa with 4 years on his contract than he is next summer if he hadn't have signed it, going into a contract with 1 year left. So it does make a difference because the contracts are about protecting Aston Villa. If we allow them to run down and they're worth nothing, then that's not great for Villa. So as long as the players are tied down with decent contracts and gives Villa the best position to negotiate with a club for a fee, then that's all I'm bothered about is Aston Villa. So as long as Villa are protected, then that's the main aspect. So to me, contracts do matter because it's about getting the most value from that player if a given player was to leave anyway. So yeah, reward him. He's doing well, keeps him here and keeps him happy. And we only want a happy Rodgers. So that's really good as well. Now, in this article, we do go on to say that Girona have made an approach for Aston Villa left back Alex Moreno. The parameters of the deal are still being worked out, with a loan and a permanent transfer being discussed. Moreno is open to the possibility after being left out of Villa's pre-season tour to the United States, allowing him time to secure a move elsewhere. The 32-year-old spent last season on loan at Nottingham Forest, but barely played, and has Lucas Digne and Ian Matson in front of him at Aston Villa. So again, yeah, it looks like, we know he's going to leave, and his performances in the first two friendlies weren't the best anyway. So let's move Moreno on. He's on around 35 grand a week. So if we can move him off the wage bill as well. It also looks like from reports that Digne is getting a new deal. We know that he's one of our highest earners. So again, what this will be doing, new contract, lower those wages completely. And then that will offset SCR, which will mean that his wages are significantly lower. And I imagine that he'll be playing decent minutes next season. But I imagine Matson might be playing more, so it makes sense to do that as well from an Aston Villa point of view. From a Manchester United point of view, we're still here. Manchester United have narrowed down their striker search to two names, Ollie Watkins and Bnejamin Sesko. They had been exploring a deal for Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson, but have been ruled out of a move due to cost. United had held back from Sesko due to the finances required, but talks have now taken place to establish some details around the potential move. The same has occurred for the Watkins deal. This is from Laurie Whitwell, who is very, very reliable on Manchester United things for The Athletic as well. So, as far as I'm aware, not for sale generally does mean not for sale. And I don't know whether these talks were the talks that happened before the not for sale part. But if they can't afford Jackson, I don't see how you can afford Watkins. Really. I don't see how you can afford Watkins at 60. So Sesko is doing the rounds again, having not gone to... Where was he going? Arsenal. So he stayed. They've chose Gyökeres. Newcastle are also apparently negotiating for Sesko as well. They seem to be getting turned down left, right and centre, having only signed Alanga so far in this window. And have they signed someone else? I think they've just signed Alanga, haven't they, Newcastle? I think that's who they've only signed. They've been linked with everybody, but everyone's turning them down. So Sesko, I really like Sesko. If I was Arsenal, I'd have gone for Sesko. I think Sesko, well, he's kind of got that profile, that mould that I like in a striker. Oh, it does go on here to say, but Sesko is not certain to leave RB Leipzig this summer when he signed a new contract in 2024. So if they're offered between 80 to 90, then he'll go. I think they're using Ekitike as the market value of what Sesko can go for. Yeah, but Watkins, again, we sell Watkins. Who do we get? Like, strikers aren't. There's not that many out and out strikers that can guarantee you goals out there. So for me, I don't think Watkins is going to leave still. I can't see Manchester United paying with their model of how they're working. I can't see them paying the money for a 29-year-old. They're in this mindset now, Manchester United with Ineos, of young, resell, maybe outgrowing the manager slightly. So to go with a 29-year-old where it's here and now, that's okay. No resale. It doesn't really suit what they're trying to do. So I kind of feel like they're not going to go for Watkins. But I think what they're doing, and I think they're trying to be a bit clever with this. I think they're trying to get that value down for me. They're trying to limit the value of Watkins to try and get it lower so they can get in for the price that they kind of want to pay. Like, I think they'd pay like 35, but no, not 35, not 35 at all, not 40. So yeah, Villa have been firm with their valuation, which is everything that we want them to do. So a little bit of a roundup, really, but I think it's been a good roundup because we've got real nice news on Morgan Rogers, and I think it's promising. It's positive. It's good. It's good from Villa. We're keeping hold of our best players. We're not moving our best players on, and yeah, going into the new season with the majority of our best players still, which is really, really good. Again, we're in the same position of hopefully we can sign someone or move a Bailey on, etc. So we're going to have to just see where we are on that aspect of it as well. So, yeah, if there's any more Villa news today, then I will drop the Villa news and go back and watch the episode that me and Ryan did. Really, really good, chatting about reasons to be optimistic as a Villa fan. So, like I say, if there's any new news, I'll bring it today. We will have a watch along for the Louisville game at 1:30 in the morning. That is going to be Thursday morning. So we'll be doing that Thursday morning. We've had great numbers so far on all the watch alongs, which is really good. And I've recovered on my sleep from the last one. So Villa fans, hopefully you like the Up the Villa new branding. And I'll see you on the next one. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the likes on the way out. Up the Villa.